So right now I'm just gonna give you the pros and the cons of being in the military. Most of them are general and some of them are just based on my experience. The first benefit I love about being in the Navy is the health insurance. If you're in America, you know how expensive health insurance is. The military offers it free of charge, so I do not pay anything for my medical insurance. So the only problem with their medical insurance is it doesn't cover dental. Like they have specific dentists that work for the military, like for the Navy. So if I want to get my tooth removed, I have to go to a dentist on base. If I want to put on braces, I cannot do that because it doesn't cover that. But the medical insurance will cover your maternity, especially for my females out there. If you are married, this is the best cover for you. You don't get to pay for any maternity. You don't get to pay for any gyna stuff. Like you're catered for, fully catered for. I had my baby this year and we didn't pay even a single cent. We just walked into the hospital. I gave birth, we walked out. We have never received any type of medical bill, and for me that's a plus. And the second one is we have the GI Bill. So the GI Bill is basically the money that you're gonna use to join college, to do your degree or whatever course you wanna take. So the good thing about the GI Bill, you can transfer it to your spouse if you don't want to use it, or you can keep it for your kids. So another way that you can get to go to school is through their tuition assistance. And tuition assistance, I think it's for active duty. So for example, if I'm active duty and I want to go to school, I'll use my tuition assistance. So I'll apply for tuition assistance, go to college and do your degree or master's or whatever. The number 3 is the housing allowance. So you get to pay for your housing. The housing allowance is different for every state. It depends on the housing market in whatever state that you're based in. For example, here in Washington, our housing allowance is $2,100. So the Navy gives me $2,100 to pay for my housing. This one is specific for the Navy. I don't know about other branches, but you get to travel and see the world. You get to travel a lot and see the world. So for example, last year I was in Japan, which was amazing. I love Japan. I loved the place. It was an amazing experience, and that's just one of the reasons, you know, that I still enjoy being in the military. So you get to travel a lot. There are people who have been to Dubai. There are people who have been to Spain, Italy, I don't know where. So you get to go to places that you never imagined. And 5 is you become a very responsible person. So one thing you're supposed to know is the military is not a job. Military is a lifestyle. It is based on how you carry yourself on everyday basis. So for me, just because I clocked out of work, it doesn't mean I can go and misbehave and then come back the next day and be like, okay, it's all good. So military is a lifestyle, because you just can't wake up and decide to do whatever you want to do, you know, because you'll be answerable. Because you will be answerable for every action that you do. And number 6 is you get to learn new skills that are very helpful even once you're out of the military. For example, firefighting. We get to learn about firefighting. It's a very good skill. I mean, fire can happen anywhere, and if you know how to fight fire, you'll be safe. You'll save a lot of, you know, property, a lot of people and all that. So it will help you learn new skills that are very, very important in the civilian world. Number 7 is you'll be able to save a lot of money. And mostly this is during deployments. So whenever we go for deployment, you don't get to use your money a lot, because you are on the ship most of the time. You eat for free. You don't buy any food. Like, there's nothing that you're spending your money on. You don't pay rent. You don't pay car insurance. You don't pay all these things. So I remember when I was in Japan, I was able to save a lot of money. I was able to buy 2 pieces of land for my parents. So whenever you're on deployment or whenever they send you out of the country, you'll be able to save a lot of money and you'll be able to do a lot of stuff. If you are an immigrant, you'll be able to get your citizenship very, very fast. So for example, I joined in 2020, and this year I got my citizenship. So it only took me like an year for me to get my citizenship. But if you're not in the military and you have your green card, it takes you 5 years before you get your citizenship. So those are all the positive things about the military. So they have really good benefits. They have really good positive sides to it. So if you want to join, those are the positive things that you can consider. For the cons, number one con is that you will have a lot of restrictions. Restrictions. As I told you, the military is a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's not like you go clock in at 8 and you're at 5 you're out. No, it's a lifestyle. You're on duty 24/7. So for example, I cannot just wake up and go to Kenya. That can never happen. That is just missing in action, and it's punishable in the military. If I want to go back to Kenya, I have to fill in some paperwork. It has to be routed all the way to the top. There are people who are supposed to sign those documents before they release me to go to Kenya. So it's a whole process. You have to abide by the laws that they have set in place. You can't just wake up and be like, okay, I'm leaving the Navy. No, that's a contract that you signed. There are processes that you're supposed to follow. There are rules that you're supposed to follow. So if you're not good with following the rules, please don't join, because it's gonna create a very bad record for you. And once you have a very bad record in the military in the US, I think even your civilian life becomes harder. There are certain jobs that will not take you because you messed up in the military. So pro number 2 is deployment. This is based on my own experience. I do not like deployments, especially being on the ship. I don't like it. This is because I almost fell into depression. It's very, very easy for you to fall into depression, especially if you're an introvert. You might fall into depression. So when I went for my first deployment, I didn't have any friends. I'm an introvert. I don't talk to people that much. And I also got sick. I got seasickness, and I was like, it was just too much on me, and I could not call my family because our phones are not working. So you are left all by yourself. You just go to bed and cry and cry and cry. I remember I almost went to my captain and just tell him, I just need to leave this ship. I need you to get me out of this place before I die, because I felt like I was dying, like completely dying. So it's a very depressing place. The food is not good, especially if you just came from Africa and you're getting used to this new food. Like, it was just too much on me, and that's why I'm saying I don't like deployments, and I didn't like being on the ship. Point number 3 is bad leadership. There are certain leaders that just don't care. They will not care what's going on in your life. All they want you to do is do your job. That's it. They don't want to listen to you. They just don't care, you know. And when somebody doesn't care, it just takes a toll on you, because you have nobody to listen to you. You have nobody to tell whatever you're going through, you know. And you just have to work with all your stress. And sometimes it gets a toll on people. I know there are the suicide cases in the Navy, especially, it's very high because of the same reasons. You know, leaders are not able to listen to you. You are not able to talk to other people. So most people get depressed and they kill themselves. So it's not a fun environment, I would say. It's not really fun. Yeah. So those are the cons. So as you can judge, the pros are more than the cons. So it's for you to just, you know, weigh yourself and be like, do I want to go in? Do I not want to go in? But the bottom line is, please, please, please have a plan when you're joining the military. So if you're the kind of person who wants to join and do your 20 years and retire, that's okay. If you're the kind of person who wants to go in, you know, get the GI Bill, get your citizenship and get out, then make sure your plan falls into place. Don't just walk into the military without any plan. You will be so frustrated. You will end up depressed. You will end up with a lot of, you know, things that you don't want to end up with. So make sure you have a plan before you join, and make sure you have a very, very good reason why you're joining, because you're going to require patience, and that patience comes with a very good reason. So yeah. So guys, I think that's all I can share with you today. Thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. I hope you learned something, and I hope this video helped you in some way. So thank you, and I wish you the very best. If you're thinking of joining the military, please go ahead and do it. Just make sure you have a plan and you have a very good reason why you're joining. So I wish you the very best. May you be successful in whatever you do. May the good Lord lead you every day as you continue with your plans. And until the next one, bye bye.